Hello, welcome to this is the Waxheads Monster Music TV. My name is Murray Somerwolff. I'm the creative director on Waxheads, and this is Josef. I was going to ask you how to say your surname because I thought I was going to screw it up. Martinovsky.
Martinovsky.
Martinovsky. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
close. Um,
Yeah.
Long-time friend, but like a huge. I'm a huge fan. Obviously from YCJY. I always get your acronyms mixed up as well. If I screwed that up.
No, you
No, I've
actually
got it
got that.
right. I got it right. Yeah, and you've made countless games, all of which I love. Like I met you first when you were making Sea Salt. But what was the game you made? What's the first
Yeah,
game you made?
it was sea salt at Gamescom
Gamescom, yes, 2019, just before the world
2019. Yeah,
went
exactly.
crazy. Yeah. But what was the game you made? Because I always think you made one game before, the underwater
Yeah,
one, right?
Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human.
Yes, perfect. And
It was just like a little short thing about that. It's kind of funny.
yeah,
One of my classmates from school,
hmm.
he when we were walking today, like going from the school, he was like, "I saw on your profile." I clicked on YCJY on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, you guys made there was some other games there, and there was one called something Aquatic Adventure: The Last Human." And he's like, and then I was thinking about it, and that is I played that game, or I knew I had a poster of that game 10 years ago,
Whoa.
and I had no idea you made it. I was like, "Did you actually make it?" I was like, "Yeah, I made
Yeah,
that." He's like, "No
yeah.
fucking way,
I'm
you
not,
made
I'm
that."
not a liar.
Um, and it was weird because it was like I must have met him 10 years ago here in Gothenburg and given him a poster because we
Oh
weren't selling them
wow.
or anything. Uh,
Yeah, of
So and
course.
he got a poster 10 years. It's just like such a weird coincidence.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's
And now
also
we're in the class together.
yeah, that'll be yeah, exactly. And you're in a class together. Like you should probably give the you're now you're taking you're having your victory lap like by going to art school after keep driving.
But definitely not with Aquatic Adventure.
No, well, like in a way that's paying off culturally, right? Because now you've got people remembering that
One
10 years
person.
on. So
Yeah.
one person starts with one. But yeah, like I have to just put in there that yeah, because Sea Salt, but you also made Post Void, which is like one of my all time in my top 10 favorite games of all time. But yeah, like also, but I think obviously we'll probably most know you for Keep Driving, which of course is like an absolutely awesome like. How do you describe it as a road trip game? Yeah,
Describe it as like a road trip RPG.
road trip
Uh,
RPG.
yeah, not
How
to
did
confuse people to think it's like a simulator really. For like the weird thing is like the road trip. A lot of the stories and like the whole thing is kind of based on my own experiences of driving as well.
okay?
So it's the thinking of music is there from the start, and also
Mm-hmm.
with Christopher, like we got to know each other by playing music together. So we've always talked about music and gone to concerts and gone to festivals, and just music has been such a general, like an integral part of our relationship, even. So just with Keep Driving, especially it being a modern take on. I don't know. I guess or not a modern take, but like a retrospective take on our experience of the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
um, we wanted music that we can connect to, and we've been listening to actually been listening to, and that was something we thought about from our first game that we ever made together, which is called the Keep Walking EP.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw either you showed me a picture or you posted it on social media. I saw it and it looked sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a precursor to Keep Driving.
Yeah,
So instead of driving, you're walking. Um, and I mean, it's called Keep Walking. So
yeah.
it's all you do is you walk and you try to avoid people, and you smoke cigarettes, and you can skate and pick up coins and beer, and you're just listening to music, and then but at the end of the song you get to your next destination, and then it comes up like a little text like, oh, you got to the bar, and then you walk out from the bar, and then you walk to the next place, and then you're like, all right, and then you walked home, and then your girlfriend called you, and then you're like, now you're walking to your girlfriend's place, and that's the end of the day, and you've
Yeah.
listened to 6 songs, and it's just those 6 songs. It's one day in a life, and that game was very kind of, the idea was more to be Christopher's life, or like I think when he came up with it, it was kind of he was doing like a self portrait almost,
Mm,
um, and we just started working together because I thought it was really cool and looked
yeah.
different, and I wanted to animate it,
Yeah, I remember. I
and
mean,
but otherwise
yeah.
it's pretty much his thing.
But I mean, but it like it's amazing though how much. that though, the DNA of that, with especially the music, that the idea of music being like, and it's something which is why I think I probably like I'm so um endeared to the games you make and stuff that. But there's that there's a certain kind of like being into music and being into certain like 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 I don't want to get to genre, but there's some a certain like subsection of music or kind of stuff where culturally it really leaves those like uh fingerprints on you. Like it times my life and I hear certain songs and it really resonates in the way that stuff like with the idea of like keep walking and how the idea of but the being in the headspace of a place where you're listening to music, and then how and keep driving, the idea of the road trip and how like you've got these stories about driving to places, and yet the music's like it's soundtracked already, right? Like it's not like you have to imagine what that music sounds like, it's already there. You're like, yeah, and that was
Yeah.
the sound that was the song. And I think that's and that, I mean, that's what I think. I mean, it's really cool for me to see when I saw people really resonate with Keep Driving, and they really like attach to that. It always convinces me, because I always find it weird that music's I mean, it's not so true anymore, because like a lot of games like I would put Keep Driving in this category, but a lot of games now are getting more into music as a kind of like as a bigger expression than a mechanic. But one of my arguments for before Wax Heads was, to begin with, was that there's not really any games which are just about music, in the sense of, hey, like liking bands and like talking about music, and like, because it's such a big thing. There's so many books and films and like all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and in games it's always a bit weird where it's like there's like Guitar Hero, and then there was kind of like that's it. But I know I'm being facetious. Like I know that it's not strictly true. Like I'm thinking of examples in my head, like even on Jammy Lammy, where I'm like, well, that's kind of cool and it's all about being in a band. But I don't know. I'm just really I find it really like trying to give this.
Was
Sorry,
what's
you gone.
the one where you play as cats? Um,
Oh yeah, Night in
and
the
it's
Woods. Night in the Woods. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Night in the Woods, yeah. But
Night
I
in
feel
the
like when
yeah. Sorry.
people were when that came out and people were talking about it, that was like, oh, look, they're doing this kind of thing where it's like
Yeah.
they're talking about the experience of being in a band and being in this a
Yeah.
person, and, like actually being a normal person
Yeah.
and in life, which is cool.
No, so
'Cause
what
it's
that
weird that nobody's doing that.
well, because that was the thing. But my like, well, so Night in the Woods is it makes, because for me playing that game, those parts, and even like the rhythm game in it, I loved it because it really let you be bad in a way that felt very authentic to me as a bass player. Where playing in bands, and I was like the least musically talented, and like, all my friends were much more capable than me, and I would always be the one trying to play catch up and like flubbing the
Yeah,
songs to begin with. And I remember playing Night in the Woods and going, this game, like, I just want a game that's the music in the band bit, and not the like. Not I'm not disregarding. I like the suburban town, the mystery, and the whole growing. I think it's an amazing game, but the bit that really spoke to me personally, and I was like, wow, what if that was just game, like just the band bit, and like that's
yeah.
um
Flight of the Conchords is like a good way of dealing with that kind of thing as well. Because I was watching Flight of the Conchords,
mm,
I was also playing a lot of music, and I was just playing in bars, and it was just no one's really listening, and you can kind of you feel like you are one of those characters. They're like, yeah, we're kind of stupid, but this is kind of our life right now.
yeah, yeah,
Once you start with game development, you're still kind of Flight of the Conchords.
yeah,
Like me and Christoph, we can kind of like connect to those characters,
yeah,
uh, and then it becomes this weird like meta thing where you're trying to express the not a failure, but this kind of struggle of something that you weren't really it wasn't really going anywhere, but you wanted to make it into something else.
yeah.
So then you make a game about the thing that you were struggling with, and then maybe hopefully that will succeed instead.
Yes, yeah. It
And then
becomes a
people will
new
understand
vehicle.
that, yeah, people will connect with the failure because everyone can connect with that. It's harder to connect with success.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. I mean, making music, because like you guys perform on you perform the Post Void theme song, right? Like,
Oh yeah, but only once.
oh yeah, but
But
did you write it? Is that right?
Yeah, well, it was a collaboration between all
Yes,
of us. So like
yes,
I did like the riff,
yeah,
like the initial like
yeah.
like that
That's
first
so
riff, and
good.
then it was with Carl,
Yeah,
and Carl did the drums then, and we were just like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then Christopher came back late at night, and we're like, can you play the solo for all the synths? And he's like, yeah, okay. And he just kind of played them off, and then we put it all together, and then
that's so sick.
Carl kind of just like made it into a song.
I mean, I love the story. Two, I mean, I can hear the song in my head, and I'm just gonna like, it just has that because with that, it's like a perfect driving energy. But what I want to know is there that part of you like that little bit of like, oh, I didn't make it like music's not a vocation, which like it's not your main thing, right? You're not getting paid to be a musician, but using games as a vehicle to be like, but I could put this song in. Yeah, like I mean, like I haven't, I stupidly missed out on it, but you like had like that song come out as a vinyl and that kind of stuff, right? And like people like myself love that song, and it's kind of cool that if you put the song out and you try to be a band, that that would be harder, but by having a game to attach it to, it kind of gives you this like Trojan horse to like also get to live both like lives. If you get
I
what I
think that,
mean.
yeah, that was. I mean, that whole thing was kind of surprising. So
Yeah,
that was. I'm just happy that that also
yeah, for
became a
sure, of
part of it.
course,
But
yeah.
it's funny because it's like we don't get any like I don't think I've ever heard that there's any like, oh, you guys that you got we made this or something. That I don't think people
Mm.
know that even. So
Well, I think it's probably because it's so rare, right? It's so rare to think, oh, the devs who did all this stuff and made the game, they also like made the music. It's like not really like I'm pushing for because I'm really fortunate for Waxheads that a lot of these singers we've got on it. I've got like 'cause when me and Daisy got married, we had like loads of friends perform songs because we have
oh, that's cool.
but just was really lucky. Like Daisy herself's got an amazing voice. Like she sings on Waxheads. And then like our sisters, even like a brother could play drums, like my sister-in-law's boyfriend's like an amazing like he's in like this amazing folk band, like he can play everything, to be honest. And like so because we've got so many people, and I can kind of play bass, so I just keep pushing to like and I'm putting it in this video, so that means it's got to come true now. I keep putting to Curve where I'm like, hey, we should do a live show, like we have to find somewhere to play live because we like a bunch of the people who sing on it all live in London, so I'm like, they'll do it. I think. I think about just going
Yeah,
like,
you got with. I mean, for the we did that with for the release, but like what you were
yeah, I
saying
saw
with the
that.
live thing with post like with the release party, we had that. We played it live, and it was funny because like I didn't practice it, so I learned it on stage, like relearned it, I guess,
That's so
and then it
good.
kind of it sucked, and I stepped on the cable, so the bass was unplugged half the time, and then we're like, we finished the song, and then we're like, let's play one more time because we kind of
Yeah,
fucked
yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah.
and then everyone was like, yeah, one more time, and then we did it again, and then we played it really well.
Oh,
It was
that's
just
so
so
cool.
fun,
That's so
and it felt like the first time was kind of like a practice round,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but that's
that was a great time.
you sent me the videos, or you either sent them to me or you put them on
Yeah,
like
I think it's of them. Yeah,
yeah, and I was showing Gina our composer, who's like amazing, by the way. I was showing because I was trying to pitch to her because she calls herself a composer, but she's not. So I hope it's okay for her to say. I think she's upfront about this. That performance is not her, or like what drives her. It's more like the writing, composition of the songs. But I was saying,
hmm
I was trying to pitch to her like, hey, what if we did stuff live? And I was showing her videos of like your like the launch party, and I was like, look how cool this is.
yeah.
Like that could be us.
It was
So
fun.
yeah,
So I can say that, yes, if she sees this or listens, it's
yeah,
worth it. It's also just like a bunch of friends that were there. So
yeah.
I don't
So
know how
that's
you
really
guys were
fun.
planning to have it. So it was there was
Yeah.
no real stress about anything.
No, no, no,
There was
no,
no we're not even like we're not sending it online anything. It was
no.
just for us. And yeah, it was fun. And everyone's so supportive as well, like when we messed up and
Yeah, that's
uh,
amazing. Uh, the soundtrack for Keep Driving. So they're all Swedish bands, right? Is that right?
yeah, not
Yeah.
only they're also all from Gothenburg, like
Okay,
where we
that's
come from.
very 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 cool. And
So
how?
it's yeah, it's very, very local.
Yeah. So how did that? So are like are I can't imagine. Are they all friends, or like
Not really.
not really? Okay, so
No.
you started out like, and you reached out to a couple first, or you just kind of like went around and started just being like, hey, like,
But like it's kind of, we're pretty lucky actually because first one of Gothenburg has like an incredible indie scene, and the
okay,
second thing
well,
was
it must do, yeah.
there was a record label here called Luxury that um, doesn't exist anymore, but it had signed pretty much all the good indie bands in Gothenburg from 2000 to 2010. Uh, and when we were looking at bands, we kind of realized, oh, we were talking to one guy that we knew, and he was signed from that company, or they used to be signed from them. I'm like, oh, but what do we do with the rights? And like, no, but now the band owns them, so we can do this.
Okay,
I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so we got in contact with them, and then we got in contact with the old record label
yeah,
owner, and he was like, yeah, you talk to all the bands, write to them, see if they want to be a part of it. Uh, and then we just kind of reached out to bands that we just really liked from
yeah,
when
yeah.
we were listening to them, and they were all just cool with it. And there was,
That's so
we were,
sick. That's awesome.
yeah, and because they like, most of them don't play anymore or
Mm,
aren't active,
yeah,
or the
yeah,
ones
yeah,
that are they aren't signed with Luxury, so we could take those albums.
that,
Uh,
yeah,
then we like the ones that were. So it was just kind of perfect. So we just managed to get a lot of bands that we've listened to a lot. We don't know the band members,
yeah.
and it was just kind of an incredible look with
Yeah,
that.
but that's
And
so
then we
cool.
also some bands that we do know and we're friends with
Yeah,
that were just happening to release incredibly good music that fit the game
yeah,
perfectly. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's ah, man, that's awesome. I mean, that's also it proves me wrong because one of my I had an idea that they oh maybe I can talk to like local bands, some people, but I got freaked out the idea of trying to like well I guess because in the UK like you don't have like one hub spot as much, right? It'd be all different places and not. I think it'd feel a bit more fractured to try and get that. But it's amazing
it
they're
was
all from
it was by
Gothenburg.
accident actually that it was just Gothenburg at first, and then
Oh
we kind
right,
of went as once we had like 5 bands from only Gothenburg or 6 bands, we're like, should we just stick with only
yeah,
Gothenburg
yeah,
bands? Because
yeah,
we had that list that I showed you like with all the
yeah.
bands that we were thinking about, and then we'd narrow down a lot more, and we were actually writing to some American bands as well, and then there was some Australian one as well, and we were just we had like a bigger reach of other bands,
Mm.
um, but then we kind of just said, let's just stick with like the
Yeah,
local heroes. Uh,
yeah,
they
but
kind of just turned, yeah,
it work. I think it's one of those things. It's one. I think sometimes it's that weird thing of where you make a decision, and it wasn't meant to be so meaningful, but it kind of works. Like because if you had more of a collective, like a more international collage, right? Fundamentally, the game would feel so different.
yeah, it probably would. I,
Which we were to
I
think
think,
about. Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
a bit
sorry.
like there's some bands that I think would have probably helped also promote the game more.
Oh, I mean,
Um,
okay, that's true. I mean, but that's the hard thing, right? Because then it becomes that kind of like you scratch my like yeah, 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 yeah. Where
yeah, there's some bands that we had on the list that are bigger nowadays, or like that
right.
are popular, online and everything, and that aren't actually they're still indie bands that are like real indie that are releasing on their own record labels and everything.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So they control the rights. So then you
Yes.
can actually ask them like, hey, you're going to be part of this like pretty small thing if or potentially a small thing if you
Yeah.
want to, um, and then they would see like how if they want to or not.
Yeah.
And I think that was really fun with like the bands here at least that we when we talked to them we just kind of said like we're offering not that much, and like we just want to have this. We want to create this kind of world with this type of music, and it fits with our experience of love life, and
Yeah.
it'd be fun to share that experience. And people are like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome. Like we've always wanted to be in a game." So
Yeah, yeah,
that sounds
yeah.
perfect.
I mean, that's definitely part. Do you have a karaoke? Do you have a song? Do you have a go-to song?
I'm gonna do like a good segue here as well,
Yeah.
which is that one of my favorite songs is the Waterboys.
Oh, yeah. For
Uh,
we didn't talk about.
Fisherman's Blues.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
So
just such a perfect song to
perfect
sing
song.
at karaoke, and it's like people know it, but they
Yeah.
don't know that they know it. And it's one
Yes.
of those weird so when you sing it, people are like, "Oh, I love this song." And
Yeah.
then they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, who was this?" And they want to come up and talk to you and like, "Oh, what was that song you?"
Yes. Yeah.
And it's usually when you're drunk, it's an easy sing
Yes.
like the way you sing it, you can kind of like scream it a
Yes.
little
Yeah.
bit.
It's got that really
Yeah.
like that kind of like it's got that kind of like bouncy like yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
just it drives you along in that so in a weird way you
It
wouldn't
drives you along,
expect.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to think because I my biggest problem with karaoke is that I can't hear the backing.
Yes.
So then I'm always like unsure when am I supposed to like actually be singing and when
Yes.
if I'm off. And this song you can kind of be off half the
Yes.
time it'll be fine.
And you'll find your way back onto it because it has
Yeah,
that kind of rhythm to it where
exactly.
I have to send you my sister-in-law's boyfriend I mentioned before in the folk band they do Fisherman's Blues as one of their songs and it's like it's but like obviously that's a more uh higher production version of doing karaoke. They have like proper
Playing the song,
yeah
yeah.
yeah yeah but like but it's I mean that's yeah I mean yeah I just want to um like you got me into Waterboy. You had Waterboys. You had Fisherman Blue. That was the song you had on your Keep Driving playlist, and I was just because I only knew Waterboys
No,
from Hold the Moon.
I think I had Stolen Child on the
Yes, sorry, that's it.
driving.
Yes, yes, yes. You're absolutely right. Which is off
Yeah,
the album Fisherman's Blues.
Fisherman's Blues album, yeah,
Yes, yeah. But
which is
that's right.
just like a
Yes,
incredible album. That's just the
oh,
whole
it's so
thing is
good.
just banger after banger. I don't know, it's just a
It's
genius piece of work.
it's so good. Like and it was because obviously it was so uncharted and like because I only knew the Whole of the Moon, and for whatever reason, because I was born in '87, but I didn't live in the legacy of Waterboys. I just wrote them off as just like kind of one hit wonder. Like, oh yeah, they did Whole of the Moon, that band. They probably did some other stuff, and then when you open up the world to me with like Stone, and I was like,
Yeah.
listen to Fisher's Blues. I'm like, this album slaps. Like, this is like, and
No,
then I
it's
went,
incredible that
yeah,
there's so many songs.
so many songs. Yeah, it's got like 16. So
Uh,
it's got like a lot of songs on it.
yeah, it does got a lot, and he has an insane amount of backlog songs as well. I think they released an album of all the songs that didn't release for This Is the Sea and Fisherman's Blues, and it's
Yeah.
over like 200 songs or something.
Oh God. It's like have you heard the new album with Dennis Hopper? It's a
Yeah,
double album. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and, it was just like a thing about that one. It's
The-
I thought it was nice. I was like,
yeah.
there's some good songs. But it didn't hit me that hard.
No,
But
no.
then when I saw them, I just saw them live actually. So
Oh,
my girlfriend
wow.
got us tickets because they played here in Gothenburg.
Yeah, yeah,
We're like,
yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go see them because she also became like a huge fan of the
Yeah, yeah.
Waterboys. So I was playing it a lot.
I'm
Um,
doing that today.
and then
She's getting into it. Yeah.
and then they played he was like Mike Scott the singer.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm gonna show you we're gonna play a few songs from this new album. It's about a guy I really respect and Dennis Hopper. And then he started talking about his life.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna play the whole album, but I'm gonna play you enough songs that you're gonna understand a bit about, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about him. And then between every song he kind of explained why he chose to write that song and
Yeah.
how it connects with his life, and it kind of made sense then. And I was completely blown away. And me and Alice were so intrigued, and we
Yeah.
thought all the songs were so interesting. And now when we listen to them, we're like, these songs became 100 times better because he sat and explained them a little bit and what he thought
Mm.
about them and why he wrote them. And it's just so interesting having this creative person who just becomes intrigued by another person, another creative person, and then having them write some 25 songs
Yeah.
on their life
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
really go through things and feel things. And it's a really interesting piece of work.
Yeah, well, I definitely need to I mean, like, I'm a huge Dennis Hopper fan, but like, but I need to re-listen to it. It's one of those ones, sometimes I dipped into it, but I think the thing was I was getting into my Water Boys phase,
Mm,
but the sound was different to the music that I was getting into with the Fisherman's Blues and This Is the
yeah,
Sea, and I was kind of like, oh, I want to stay with that, but let me come back round and then maybe try and get more of a trajectory. Like, so I want to find the next album
exactly.
to jump to try and bridge the gap, if that makes sense.
But definitely, and like
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I probably wouldn't have put that much time into that one if I
if you
hadn't
hadn't
seen
seen it,
them
yeah,
live. Yeah. Um, But one album I can strongly recommend it for everyone who's listening as well.
Yeah.
Here's this. Uh, there's one called "In a Special Place," the piano demos for "This Is the Sea,"
Okay.
and
That's
that's what got me into the water. Like just listening to him, it's just him and a
I'm
piano.
writing that
That's it,
down.
and maybe a like a backtracking drum machine.
Wow.
But
Okay.
it's just so good. And then yeah, there's I don't know, just there's a song called "Talk About Wings."
Yeah.
It's just a minute long, and it feels like it's kind of half finished. But it's
I'll
just
write
such a
that for that.
beautiful text, and he actually played it live now as well. It's
Mm.
just a minute long, and me and Alice were like, "Holy shit! I can't believe you played that song," because it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
such a
Oh, when you get stuff like that, when they play the thing,
yeah.
you're like, no one else should really think about it. And when they play, you're like, no,
No,
it
yeah,
does mean it means something. That it means something to them. They're playing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love
yeah.
that.
I think you really like this album because it also feels it's very raw because it's just him
Okay.
with the piano.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely listening to that after we're done. That's my
Nice.
album tonight.
He started off the show with "How Long Will I Love You,"
Mm.
which is just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's one of the best love songs ever.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But to me, like the thing that really got me was, or just made because I was listening to a lot of that to that demo tape album. I was listening to that for the most of the
Mm.
time. I was getting into them, but then I heard "This Is the Sea,"
Yeah.
and those lyrics are like the most profound lyrics
Yeah.
of any song to me. Maybe of any poetry that I've ever read.
I mean, I wouldn't for me personally like it, but I can understand why you'd have that feeling with it, like because it is just like it's beautiful, like it's
It's,
it's yeah.
it's
Um.
like you can you can those I didn't get the song for a really long time, and then
Mhm,
I was just like, there's something about it, just kind of I feel like there's something important
mhm.
he's saying here. And then I listened to a live version where he changed one of the lyrics, and then the song just kind of clicked. It was like a puzzle piece that just fell into place.
Yeah.
uh, and I kind of understood that the whole song is the ideas of this metaphor that all these things that you're doing in life, when you're doing them, feel like you're in a river,
Mm.
and then once you complete them, you're in the sea, like it opens up for you, and then you're back, and then the next thing is the river, and then you're back at the sea, and then, or like
Yeah. Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
you look at school, like when you're young, and you look at high school, and you're like, all these things you were doing, all the running around, and like what he says, banging your drum, and you're living this life, and then but don't forget that was the river. Now
Yeah,
this is the sea, like
yeah,
after school. And
yeah,
then another thing is like a relationship, like you were in like this important, you think it's a very important relationship and everything, and then you break up or something else happens, and then you look back and you're like, that was the river, this
mm,
is the sea, the new thing is the sea.
yeah.
And you just every time you look back on life, it just feels like this is the sea and that was the river. uh, and I started like
Huh.
thinking about childhood and shit, thinking about like now when you have kids as well, like
Yeah,
you're gonna look back when they grow up and leave home and everything. Like that was the river. This is the sea. Like this is the other big part. Like and like and
but
then you're
it's
gonna look
so
at
true because even now,
and
it's like that now when they were babies and now
yeah,
they're at school and it's
yeah,
like yeah, now you're school kids now, like that yeah, like
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And for
yeah, yeah,
them, that's gonna be it. Like
yeah,
you can even see it from outside of another person's perspective. Like
yeah,
you're looking at their life and seeing like that was your river. Now this is your sea.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and it's just like it's an incredible line. Like
Yes,
it's so simple. It's so unbelievably simple, but it's like it's as profound as like any like a Shakespearean quote of like, oh well fuck now I'm blanking on it, but I was talking about for like the Hamlet one. Um,
uh.
it sounds so stupid. I can't remember like the most. Oh, to be or not to be.
Oh, okay, right, yes,
Those-
yeah. Like I
yeah.
think I was overthinking in my head, going, "Wait, what?"
The
No, but
simple
yeah,
like the
but
to
you're
be or not to be.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like,
It's like
yeah,
um, despair is like as simple as that. Like when you're feeling um,
yes, yeah,
but it's something that you can always apply to pretty much any part of life.
yeah,
And there's a beauty to like understanding. And I think like adulthood, some form of adulthood at least, is understanding the rivers and understanding the seas and understanding the relationship between doing things and being in them, and then how that they get completed. Like working on a video game, for example.
Yeah.
Like you're spending 5 years or 4 years, we've spent also 5 years on a game. And like that is a river in itself. And then
Yes. Yeah.
once you release it, you're out in the sea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
And you join in the next river. You're doing, and then you're gonna be in it. You're not gonna realize that you're in it.
Yeah.
And then you look back when you're out of the sea. You look back like I was in the river. You're being funneled along a certain things in life, and you're constantly being funneled into things, and then
Yeah.
you're free, and then you look at it like, oh, what's the next thing to get funneled into?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's funny because I hadn't done the work to really think of the song in that way. But you're absolutely right in the way that and everything you're talking about as well. The way the past year talking about it, it really brings it home to me. The idea of within this, the way that music makes you, the way that you could create, like the way that music's able to create, uh like emotional connections and help like unlock things. Like I mean, I definitely use it a lot to like songs have like lots of emotional like kind of memories or like particular kind of like things like this for me. In terms of sound, like Wax said, the idea of like post punk and the idea of like I've got this very when I wanted to make this game from an art direction point of view, I had this very clear vision of I went to in London. I went to go see it was this like day festival. It was like 7 bands, and like Black Lips played, like Bone Engine. Oh, I forget. There was basically
Really want
loads
to
of
see.
like punk bands and stuff like that, and it was this and it was like that whole thing of I remember going. It was a really sunny day, and like, the thing about London, you get this kind of weird like haze of the pollution, and like it like but it's kind of warm and it's really bright, but it had this kind of weird kind of, it has this weird not melancholy, but it had this kind of like a fuzz, like you're in this room with all these people and you're hearing all this like discordant like kind of like really like loud kind of jangly guitar, and it's all
Yeah,
around you, and then you're like in that kind of moment, this is like the river, the sea, and like it almost in a way it had that moment of like this is the sea, like I remember coming out and looking up and they were just feeling in this way of like full of all this like energy and like kind of being like
yeah,
like just that feeling of like I don't know of like wanting to do something like you watch all these get people on stage throw the bodies around it, for all their like limbs, everything into all these instruments and all this energy and music is put into, and you just feel like with that in it you want to do something with it. And I think that with Wax Heads, I've tried a few times to describe it to people, and people I always sound like, even now I sound mad, but it's like,
all right.
yeah, trying to capture that in a way of trying to get that feeling across in a way which feels like the I mean, it's that idea of connection, right? Like everything, the way you were describing this is the sea, the way you were describing it to me, it creates that kind of like feeling of like even to me now listening to that song unlocks that song for me in a different way. And I think that's so I don't. I mean that just being like very uh plain speaking. I just love it. I love the way of that. Like that. I think it's very powerful. We can keep chatting, but I might wrap up just to say that thank you so much for doing this for me and like taking this weird experiment of doing game marketing, but just talking
Yeah, of course.
with little avatars and and
I think
but
it was really cool.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've loved it. I've loved like I always love talking to you about you know everything. Well, perfect. Well, that's like if you've already bought Keep Driving, buy Keep Driving again, and then play. Just buy a copy for yourself and all your friends. And then once you've done all that, and once you've bought all your YCJY games,
Then wax heads.
then wishlist Wax Heads. Then
Yeah, we're
yes,
we're
killing
we're
marketing.
releasing. Yeah, I mean, I think we're releasing on consoles at one point as well, and then
I
maybe.
didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to like. I didn't want to put you in a spot by asking that. But that's yeah. That'd be sick. That'd be because I did play. I mean, I was playing it on Steam Deck. But That would be cool to play. It'd be awesome on a Switch. I mean, I know
Yeah,
everyone's a bit of indie game, but it'd be cool on the Switch. But like, yeah, it would be very cool. It would be,
we're working on it right now.
yeah,
But I'm
okay.
not sure when it will release, but we're kind of just taking our time to make sure it's good.
Nice. Well, perfect. Something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
Well, we'll actually commit to wrapping up. So again, Joseph, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
to everyone who's watched all of this, thank you very much, and yeah, take care.